Mr. Patel, I was a real prosecutor for 10 years. I know exactly how.
So I was a fake one?
And I want to understand what the court order prevents you from releasing witness statements that the FBI took.
A former federal prosecutor just told the FBI director in a congressional hearing on the record that he knows exactly what court orders say and what they do not say, and he wants an answer. Representative Dan Goldman spent a decade in the Southern District of New York, the same district that prosecuted Jeffrey Epstein, the same district that prosecuted Ghislaine Maxwell. He has read FBI 302 documents. He has filed them. He knows which categories of evidence court orders typically seal and which they do not, and his position, built on that experience, is that the specific documents he is asking about are not covered by the orders Patel is citing. What happened next is why this exchange is on the record.
Mr. Patel, does Donald Trump appear anywhere in the Epstein files?
Representative Dan Goldman of New York is a former assistant United States attorney at the Southern District of New York, the office that brought the 2019 sex trafficking charges against Epstein and later prosecuted Ghislaine Maxwell. He served as lead counsel for the House Intelligence Committee during the first Trump impeachment. Today he asked one question, received an answer that confirmed Trump's name is in the Epstein files, and then spent the rest of his time asking why more was not being released. The open question, the one this hearing does not fully close, is whether the court orders Patel is citing actually block the documents Goldman is asking about. Goldman says they do not. Patel says they do. Neither man produced the orders in the hearing room. By the end of this video, you will understand what was confirmed, what was challenged, and why Goldman's final statement, "You are part of the cover-up," is now in the congressional record.
Question. Does Donald Trump appear anywhere in the Epstein files?
I didn't say it was a complicated question. I just didn't hear you, so my apologies. We have released where President Trump's name's in the Epstein files and everybody else, and all credible information that we are legally allowed to release has been released.
All right, so
Patel confirmed it. Donald Trump's name appears in the Epstein files. That is the FBI director saying so, under oath, in a congressional hearing. Not a media report, not a leak. A direct confirmation from the person who controls those files. The confirmation came with a frame. The FBI has already released the sections where Trump's name appears, alongside everything else they are legally permitted to release. That frame contains a claim. Court orders block the rest, which Goldman immediately moved to examine, because the prior month, Bloomberg had reported that the FBI had redacted Trump's name from released Epstein documents. CNN had reported that Bondi briefed Trump that his name was in the files. And before Patel became FBI director, he had said on a podcast that the reason the Epstein files had not been released was because of who was on the list. Now, Patel controls the list, and Goldman had a specific legal argument about why the court order explanation does not hold for a specific category of documents.
Mr. Patel, I was a real prosecutor for 10 years. I know exactly how.
So I was a fake one?
And I want to understand what the court order prevents you from releasing witness statements that the FBI took.
You should know that as a real prosecutor, when the court hand downs a protective order and a motion to seal, the material is sealed unless that
your
judge
testimony
waives
here
it.
is that all of those witness statements are under a court order, a protective order.
I was a prosecutor, a real prosecutor for 10 years. That sentence is not a credential flex. It is an answer to, do you know how court orders work? And it contains the implicit argument that Goldman does know, specifically in the district where this case was prosecuted. Goldman then made two moves. First, a specific legal challenge. What court order prevents releasing the victim witness statements the FBI collected? Not the grand jury materials, not the Maxwell case materials, the FBI's own interview records. Second, a formal accusation. You are hiding the Epstein files, and you are part of the cover-up. Patel's response was to deny the moral charge. He is not covering up crimes against children. He is not protecting traffickers. Patently and categorically false. The downloaded porn line referred to a separate category of material recovered from Epstein's residences, which Goldman had not asked about. What Patel's response did not contain was an answer to Goldman's legal question. Which specific court orders? Which documents do they cover? Why not seek to lift them? Those three questions produced a moral denial of a different charge. That pattern, specific legal question, general moral denial, is what the record now contains.
You are hiding the Epstein files, Mr.
Time of the
Patel.
gentleman has expired.
You are part of the cover-up.
Goldman said it again as his time expired. Over the gavel. On the record. The official record of the United States House of Representatives now contains several things from this exchange. It contains Patel's confirmation that Trump's name appears in the Epstein files. It contains Patel's claim that court orders block further release. It contains Goldman's challenge that those orders do not cover the victim witness statements he is asking about. It contains Patel's response, "Do you know how court orders work?" to a former SDNY prosecutor who ran cases in this exact district. It contains Goldman's prosecutorial credentials as a direct answer to that question. It contains Patel's moral denial of a charge Goldman did not make. And it contains Goldman's closing verdict, spoken twice in this hearing. You are hiding the Epstein files. You are part of the cover-up. That verdict rests on one unanswered question. Patel said, court orders prevent further release. Goldman asked which ones and what they cover. That question did not receive a specific answer. Until it does, Goldman's accusation and Patel's denial both remain in the record. And so does Patel's confirmation that Trump's name is in the files. The American people have that much. What they do not have is the rest.
We are providing everything we can legally provide.
No, that's not my
Congress has
question.
sent us a
My
subpoena.
question is, why are those witness statements that are not grand jury testimony, that if they were under a protective order are no longer under a protective order, why are they not being released?
How are they not under a protective
Why
order?
are you not going to the court like you did for the grand jury testimony to unseal those
The
records?
DOJ did go to the court.
No, not on those records. Why
time
aren't
of
you
the
going? You
gentleman.
just went on grand jury.
Time of the gentleman has expired.
Can I respond?
Sure can.
Any allegations that I'm a part of a cover-up to protect child sexual trafficking and victims of human trafficking and sexual crimes is patently and categorically false in the work of my
So I hope you will talk to them when they
Gentlemen's time
have
has
requested
expired.
to speak with you. Because the
Gentlemen's time has
victims have
expired. Gentleman
requested
yields
and you are
back.
not responding to them.
Trump's name is in the files, confirmed. The rest is behind court orders no one has named. A real prosecutor for 10 years says that does not add up. What would you have asked him?